Say we gon' set your day right, yeah. Na, 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 na. We gon' turn it up nice. Na, 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 na. Get ready for the time of your life. We bring the vibes and we bringing it right. We're the brunch, doing it right, doing it right. Go we on here and we ready to bring the fire. Turn the radio up. Go we on here with the brunch, take it higher. Turn the radio up. Go we on here and we ready.
Y'all know what? I know y'all are wondering. It's Monday. That does not sound like Marcel Action Jackson. Well, it is not, because he is not in the studio today, so I am filling in, and y'all know who I am. I am the queen of the sauce. Uncle Remus Saucy Fried Chicken is in the building, Charmaine, and I am posted up with Tamera's not here either, people, but don't worry. This show is still jam-packed and going to be on fire, because Charles is in the studio. It's Monday. Hey, Charles.
I'm in Action Jackson's seat today.
Oh, my goodness.
And you and Tamera's seat today. We are filling in for them.
We are.
We have 4 guests on the show today. We're going to help y'all, what Tamera says, get that shmoney.
The shmoney.
Yes, indeed.
We're going to help you get that shmoney, and we're going to give you information that you can use. We have about re-entry. We have how you can be helped in that area. And as I say all the time on Wednesdays when I sit in this chair, call your friends. Text your frenemies. Tell them it's the brunch bunch time. And we got news that they can use, and we promise they are going to leave better than when they came, because we always, believers, think about you every day we come to this studio. You're listening to the Brunch Bunch. Don't go nowhere, because guess what? You know what it is. We got so much more to share. You're listening to the Brunch Bunch on Inspiration 1390. And I want to talk about the Supreme Court, because we want to keep you informed. They are actually, they have agreed on Monday to review a New York state law that limits carrying concealed firearms outside the home, the first major Second Amendment case it has heard since 2010, and one that could lead to a loosening of gun laws nationwide. The case was accepted on Monday and will put the spotlight on 3 justices appointed by former President Donald Trump, all of whom received vigorous backing from gun organizations such as the National Rifle Association, as appeals court judge Justice Brett Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett adopted a Second Amendment approach that generally points to the loosening constitutional rights of weapons in possession. So basically, in a nutshell, what this means is, as Charles and I were talking about before we came on, is that as much as we have challenges with the laws and everyone, carrying guns now, you basically, Charles, as you were telling me, will be able to just like have more freedom to conceal and carry. Am I correct?
This is going to be a game changer, because, for example, the kid that was shot on the Lakeshore Drive a couple of weeks ago, that was fighting for his life, and thank God he's still alive. The boyfriend had a gun in his lap, and the other passenger had a gun. How many times do people get into situations where there's road rage and they can't control their emotions? Now, with this ruling, it's possible now that everybody can come out their house with a gun, and if somebody engages somebody in a violent manner, they can pull their gun out and shoot them. So now homicides are going to go up across the country with this ruling. I don't think it's a good idea. It's a bad idea. I think in 2008, when they passed a law where you can keep firearms in your home for self-defense, that was enough. But now allowing people to put a gun on their hip and walk around, average citizens, and we're going through a generation right now where a lot of people have mental health problems. A lot of people are going to be happy trigger. They're not going to know how to stand their ground and talk it out. Their first reaction is pull out a gun, and then somebody else has a gun. Now we're in the Wild Wild West.
And what kind of makes me worried is that the National Rifle Association is behind this, and they have so much lobby power in Washington and through the Supreme Court. And they're really basing this precedent case on the gun owners were denied to carry permits, and that in National Rifle Association and the New York affiliates argued that the individual right the court found in the Second Amendment entitles them to take weapons with them for self-defense.
But think about who benefits from this. Think about that for a second. Now, NRA, right? So manufacturers, if now all of a sudden you have a boom in the population that's looking to buy guns, who benefits? The gun manufacturers, the NRA, sales. Money goes up through the roof. Stocks go up through the roof. Now everybody's looking. Now you're going to have, like we have cannabis popping up everywhere, dispensary stores. Now we're going to have gun stores on every corner because now people have the right to buy a firearm.
People have the right, but will black people have the right? Because although the National Rifle Association is behind it, there's still going to be systemic racism if it is granted that you can carry this in self-defense. Trust and believe they will find a way to keep.
I'm going to throw a jab in there, like the dispensary business, right? The equity.
Yeah.
Blacks were supposed to get a piece of the pie. They ain't even got no crust.
They have no crust. So people, believers, listen. We have to listen. We've always talked about on the show, it's not about the crime. It's the judges that really rule over it. And it's so interesting. And I believe everything's a setup. I believe that Trump knew that this was going to come into law. He was very much in the pocketbooks, in the pockets, in the deep pockets of the National Rifle Association. I believe, again, that this was already on the docket and that he strategically placed his people, his cronies in place as far as Amy Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh to make a ruling in favor of the Rifle Association.
That's why the Democrats were fighting so hard to suspend this and let the pick be when they got the power.
Exactly.
But Trump knew what was coming up.
Trump knew what was coming up. So guess what? Believers, we're still talking about Trump. We're 100 days into Biden and we're still talking about Trump. But we know that what the enemy meant for evil, God meant for good. So we really need to not have this law be passed. And if you're praying, I do believe in prayer. I believe in faith. And I believe that even the hearts of these judges can be changed, because this law is not a law that we need to, as Charles said, wild, wild west. Everybody, you stepped on my toe, I'm shooting you in self-defense. It should not be this way. We are under governing laws, and those should be to protect, not to just make everybody want to do whatever they want to do. So believers, keep the faith and know that we have to stay covered by the blood of Jesus, and that we keep you covered under the blood of Jesus. So believers, don't go nowhere, because guess what? What's coming up next is something you want to hear. We have some great guests that are coming up talking about their services, about reentry and everything. You all know that's very passionate to me, because most of my employees are reentry employees. I have a passion for those.
So essentially what we do in a nutshell is help people who want to help themselves. We have job developers, and so we have various programs that have set criteria that people can qualify for, based on whatever their needs are. And then we you do wraparound services to make sure that when they get the employment that they're prepared to keep it as well.
Now, how long have you all been around?
16 years. 16 years.
Yeah, talking to Mike, over 16 years.
Yes.
And what was the, I don't want to say what the inspiration, I want to say, we know that there was a need, but what was the inspiration behind becoming an agency to fulfill that need? What did you see?
Well, our founder, Gladstone and Tina Sanders, I met them about 20 years ago when I was working for Boys and Girls Club. And they had a adult workforce development department at Boys and Girls Club. But Boys and Girls Club decided to move in a different direction and stay with youth. But our founders, having a passion and recognizing the need for all of our community to be serviced, decided that they were going to branch out and create Phalanx so that we could continue to service the adults as well as the children.
Yes, and I see that. So what are some of I know that you, in your intro, you kind of said a long sentence of what you service, but I see here that you do life counseling and training, and what caught me was life counseling, because what I think people don't realize is that there's a trauma attached to when you are incarcerated. And I always tell people life stops. If you go in at 16, you come out at 16, because you're in survival mode. So they need that ongoing training. So when you say, does a life counseling look like under your organization?
So we do an assessment on everybody who comes in, and then from that assessment we do a service plan that is catered to the individual. So it looks different for every individual. We might have some individuals who may need anger management, some who may need conflict resolution, some who just may need updates on the resume. But we do, once we service them in whatever area we find that they have needs in, we continue to provide ongoing service. And so we have clients that we have been servicing for 4 and 5 years that still come back and are still part of the Phalanx family.
And when you say service, what are they coming back for 4 to 5 years?
For different things. I mean, maybe they want to advance their skills in the area, and we had a nursing program, and and various programs that they may want to just do something different, and they know that they have us as a resource where they can do that.
So, Pauline, I also see here that you all help with expungement,
yes,
which is something I always tell my family members, because I said we've all have been touched. It takes a second to make a mistake and a lifetime to correct it.
that's true.
It's such a poignant and impactful statement. And part of the lifetime, again, is our system continually reincarcerate us mentally, physically. We can't get a job. We can't vote. We can't do anything, although we've served our time to the man. So when you talk about expungement, I'm sure a lot of our listeners, again, probably want to hear about how do you help with expungement.
Yeah, and Charmaine, and that's why we're really here today. Is if you don't know, it's today is the start of National Reentry Week, and we specifically picked this day to launch our new violence prevention initiative. Now, Phalanx has been servicing justice-involved youth and families for years, but we wanted to be very intentional, to your point, around making sure that life skills and life coaching happens. That's why Ebony's in the room. She oversees that team. Sydney really makes sure that mental health piece. But when we talk about reentry, you can't reenter into society without removing some of those barriers off your background. So through our partnership with the Get Clear initiative, we are able to help individuals get the payment that they need for their rap sheet. Through our partnership with Chicago Legal Aid and Chicago Community Legal Clinic, we're able to sit there and connect them with someone who's going to actually do the paperwork for them free of charges. And then they'll be able to get connected with services that we have within Phalanx while they wait. Because if you don't know, if you're in Cook County District 1, you're waiting about 2 to 3 years for your name to even be called. In the meantime, to your point, you still can't get a job. You still can't have a quality of life. And so there's going to be resources and support that you're going to need. And right now, we are inbounding on our youth at a time where Chicago has been seeing a very increase in violence prevention when it relates to youth. But we are focusing our attention on our 14 to 24-year-olds, starting there. Not saying that we're not servicing our adults. We are going to always service our adults. But we want to make sure that those life coaches, those mental health, those barriers, those traumas that bring youth to committing violence is stopped. And then our team is here to do that. So this week we will have a series of activities. We talked about gun laws a few minutes ago, but do you know your cannabis laws in Illinois? So we have a flyer that we're going to be doing a talk show live on that on Thursday. We're going to have Commissioner Dennis Deere talk around mental health when it relates to criminal justice, and our youth is going to be leading that conversation on tomorrow. But we're going to close this off with really having our 5 youth that has committed to be part of the change, to really say that I want to commit to doing something different, have a commitment ceremony for them earlier that Friday morning. But we're closing that with a reentry community resource fair over in our parking lot. So if you are an organization that has reentry resources, if you are someone that's looking for reentry resources, whether it's One Summer Chicago jobs for the 14 to 24-year-olds, jobs for adults who are on TANF, CHA, come out to Phalanx, 837 West 119th Street. You can sign up for your city key. You can sign up for your COVID-19 vaccination. We have all those resources from 1 to 4 there to service you, especially those who are battling this reentry system, who has had some interaction with the criminal justice system.
Now, one other question on expungement. What is the reality of the time frame to have? I know that it varies. You may have 20 things you need to get off, but what are some of the things people can get expunged from their record?
So currently, right now, with the new law in Illinois, everything is expungible except for animal cruelty, sexual
animals.
They love
saying about them animals.
And of course, we love our children
better than us.
We love our children and women, so no crime like that. And then there's some Class X felonies, but mostly everything is a case by case scenario. So if you think your background cannot be expunged, we say call us, check us out, You need to know what's on your background. You need to know your status. We'll help you get that rap sheet. And let the attorneys tell you that your case is not expungible. Don't listen to the naysayers and everyone saying, oh, you got 20 things on your rap sheet. We are seeing rap sheets that's 30 pages and folks can get things expunged. So the law has changed. Yes.
The law has changed and finally kind of turning in our favor of being able to not spend a lifetime for a 1 second correction, because some of those things that are on your rap sheet are things that really need to be taken off. I know someone who has not had any challenges 15, 20 years. My sister, I didn't even go personal. She went to Arizona. I have 10 of them, so they won't know. She went to Arizona, and they did a background check in order for her to live. And she did stuff 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's so sad and disheartening that we are constantly being criminated, profiled for things, and she's had no problem since. So I'm actually going to have her call you.
Yeah, have her call us for that.
I know that she started,
but the reality is, if you do live in the Cook County districts and you are applying for expungement, make sure you are in contact with your political officials, because right now there's currently one judge hearing the cases. This is why it's taking 2 to 3 years for your case to be heard. There's about 30 to 50 cases a week, and there's about one judge
to wrap it off, but 20 to put you in jail.
Yes,
it's things need to be changed. We need to stay focused, stay advocating. We thank you all so much. Listen, you told them your address, but give them your telephone number, because call to action, telephone number. Let's repeat it 3 times so you can hear it.
Yes, call or text us if you are looking for reentry resources at 773-234-3362.
That's 773-234-3362.
Your website information.
Your
too.
website.
Yes, and you can find us on social media at Phalanx Family Services with a PH.
Spell that for them.
PHALANX Family Services, or our website is Phalanx GRP Services with an S.org. But if you're in the South Side on Friday, check us out. 837 West 119th Street. We'll be outside at 1 o'clock. And there's rumors that there might be some food. We'll have we're figuring that out, but we're going to have plenty of resources for you guys, so we hope to see you there.
Well, listen, even if there is not food should not be the reason that you're coming.
Food brings us together.
But food does bring us together. Okay? You know what? I'm going to donate some. I can't donate any chicken wings because it's a national chicken wing shortage.
Is it? Girl.
Absolutely. That's a whole other. Seriously. Even Buffalo Wild Wings is out of wings. And I just got a text that I'm out of wings. However, I will donate some chicken. So that we can really, this is very passionate, because I said probably half of my staff is from reentry. Okay. And I probably have a quarter of them that I've migrated into leadership leadership role. So I always tell people, nobody woke up to say I want to be a criminal or a gangbanger.
That's true.
It's
That's
circumstances.
True. Yes.
In some circumstances, they could not prevent, and some circumstances they walked right into. Mm-hmm. However, if people want to make a change, we should give them the opportunity to show me. I say I watch the tongue in your shoe, not the tongue in your mouth.
I know that's right.
Amen. Believers, I'm going to tell you one more time, this telephone number. I'm excited that people are doing work to help us. 773-234-3362. Please call. Tell somebody. Tell your friend of me. Remember I told you? Tell your friend of me, hey, get your record expunged. Get some help. Get a job. All right? We love you, believers. That's why we're always bringing you information that you can use. And this was great information. Use it. Don't go nowhere, because our next guest is called Talking About the Money on Inspiration 1390.
Quandra, I know her as Q. And I have Laura Lane from Sunshine Enterprises. First, let me tell you, the listeners today, I know I was supposed to spill the tea today. And what does the tea mean? Last time I was on the show, I gave y'all something to sip on, but I didn't give y'all the tea. Because of time constraints, next time I come on, I'm going to spill the tea. The sip was how you, during this pandemic, can save, invest, and plan. The tea is where we're going to look for the buried money in the transportation department, education department, and agriculture department. That's the tea, where the feds have money coming through the states for businesses, and the black community needs some of those 1.2 or $2 million trillion that's coming through the transportation bill when it gets passed. And there's a whole lot of money that's going to be buried in there, going to a whole lot of different organizations and businesses and contracts. But the black community will get the information from me, so I will be looking through the bill, going through the federal post that's going to come through the pipeline, and I will be sharing the information like I did earlier in the year with the PPP and the EIDL information, which you still can apply for the PPP up until May 31st. But today, we are going to talk to the directors of Sunshine Enterprises. If you have a small business that I had a lot of people who came to me for the PPP assistance, and they didn't have their business in order. They were making money. They were commingling funds in different accounts. They didn't have their Secretary of State information in order. Simple things. But what Sunshine Enterprises does is show businesses how to get your stuff in order, do bookkeeping. They give you coaching, counseling. They have a wealth of stuff, and all through a class. But I'm going to let Laura and Q tell you more about Sunshine Enterprises. Let's welcome today Sunshine Enterprises, Laura and Q.
Greetings. We're glad to be here.
Absolutely.
I'm Laura. This is Quandra, and we're from Sunshine Enterprises. We come out of a 110-year-old organization. This particular branch of organization, we've been doing this for 8 years. We're a national replication of a program called Rising Tide that the Obama administration said was a great program for growing entrepreneurs. So we're the first national replication. And we help businesses build their business and grow their community. And how do we do that? We do that by making sure that they have the business basics. You're the expert in your business, and we help you develop your business acumen. We help you see the holes in your business plan. We help you fill all of those
Okay, well, let me use an example. I have a business, right?
Okay.
Per se. Say if I have a business and it's bringing in revenue and it's doing okay, but it's not really making me robust. It's not making me, I'm just, having a business day to day. How could I come and utilize your services to make my business go to the next level? What do you do? What would you do to help my business or the listener's business? People who are struggling, maybe they're just paying bills and not generating any revenue. Because in order to be a successful business, you have to first generate revenue and know how to spend it correctly and make a profit. So explain to me to the listeners, if I walked into your office and I said, hey, I have a business, but I want you to help it grow, what would you do?
We would say two parts. I'll do the first part. I'll let Quandra do the second. One is we help you figure out how to take your business to the next level. And so when you are enrolled in our Community Business Academy, the first thing we start talking about is you, the entrepreneur, and what skills you need to work on. We work on your prices. We work on helping you understand the money in your business, your variable expenses, your fixed expenses, how to calculate that profit, how to do your cash flow, how to figure out your break-even point, how to not commingle, as you were talking about
Teaching
earlier.
people bookkeeping, record keeping, inventory.
All the basics. We do it in a fun way. We have business simulations. You're learning not from practicing entrepreneurs who teach the class. You're learning from the other entrepreneurs in the class as well. And so it's really engaging and it's fun. And then you meet with your instructor one-on-one. All of the work that you're doing for your homework is all working on your business plan and closing the gaps in your business plan. And so we tighten it up. And then we make sure that you have the relationships that you need. Many of us who are micro-entrepreneurs and supplemental income entrepreneurs, we're solopreneurs. We think we have to do everything. We think we're Kojic. We're supposed to be the trustee board. But you need a team. And so part of what Quandra does is introduce you to all those professionals that you're going to need, introduce you to that business coaching you're going to need for the life of your business. So I'll let Quandra talk about that.
Absolutely. So I think what makes Sunshine Enterprises a very unique program is the fact that we have a business acceleration services, meaning we want to be a part of your business for the life of your business. So we offer workshops. We offer, we have several programs. One is our Next Level Exchange, which is a mentorship program. We also have our PERC program, which is Pathway Enterprise for Returning Citizens, where we help returning citizens start their own business, as well as we offer 90-day coaching, where you get one-on-one support for the full 90 days. Once you graduate from the CBA, You're immediately paired with an expert in your industry or in the business field, and this person walks hand in hand with you for your business. Also, we have office hours where we have professionals that come in. We have accounting professionals. We have lawyers. We have several professionals that come in to help those entrepreneurs with establishing their business. We offer co-working space, and currently we're offering micro grants. So, and that's up to $1,000 for entrepreneurs. Right now, we're doing it for accounting services. As Charles mentioned earlier, we had a lot of people. We noticed during the beginning of the pandemic, a lot of our entrepreneurs did not have their accounting together. So we've offered up to $1,000 to help them get their accounting together so they can be eligible for those PPP loans.
So, what it seems like this is a 6-week or 10-week or how many week accelerated from getting your business. That's question one. Mm-hmm. Question two is, if I just have an idea, can I come?
Yes. So it's a 12-week community business academy, absolutely, and classes are twice a year. The first week of March and then the second week of September is when we start our cohorts. We have 7 cohorts going now, and yes, we absolutely are geared to the startup. We service existing businesses, but we serve startups. Now, if you're just thinking about going to business, we're not for you. But if you have a passion, a strong business idea, a side hustle you've been working on for a while that you need to turn into a business, this is perfect for you. And we make it accessible. We don't charge you. You're getting business education, but we just charge you a sliding scale fee based upon your income. For returning citizens, it's absolutely free. For refugees, it's absolutely free. And we try to make sure that it's accessible to you. And we're working on knowledge capital, social capital, and access to capital. So you'll have office hours with bankers and other types of financing folks. We will help you figure out what financing you need. What's interesting is some people, once they understand the money in their business, they realize they don't have to go outside for financing because they understand, I have more cash flow that I can actually invest in my business.
Now, let me ask you, do you also help businesses get resources through the city and the state to fund their businesses, like with government assistance, like contracting? Like, for example, a lot of businesses don't take advantage what the city has a program with minority status. Do you help people get the minority status so they can get contracts with the state or the city or the state minority, which is, I think, the
all of those.
Well, the BEP program, I think, is the
state.
The state, and the MW.
Right. There's city certification, there's county certification,
right.
State certification.
Do you help businesses with that certification?
We do through workshops, and we also are part of this fantastic ecosystem in Chicago. And so depending upon when our workshops are, we will forward them to whoever is working. So, for example, one of our partners is South Shore Chamber of Commerce. So if their MBE certification workshop is happening before ours, we'll send them there and then pair them up with their coach to make sure that they get all the paperwork in. It's always that last mile where you need that accountability for the busy entrepreneurs to get it in and get
because
it done.
That can help a business go to the next level.
Yes.
If they have that minority status attached to their business.
Absolutely.
They can start applying for different programs that the city offers to minorities.
But I would caution that business as a business owner to sometimes when you encounter entrepreneurs, they want to go to the 10th step before they go through 1 through 9 because you almost have to have a great infrastructure for your business to even be able to bid for those contracts. That's a whole nother learning curve on how to bid, how to fairly bid. I like where you're going with that, and we should be available to all of that for the equity of it. But my question is, what types of businesses do you work with? Any type of business, or do you have that niche business that you've seen just really explode?
That's great. We actually work with all kinds of industries. There's 34 different industries represented amongst our 940 alumni. So we work with all kinds of businesses. That being said, we have developed some specialty cohorts. We have a specialty cohort around construction trades, not only because it's a very large growth area for our community, but also because most of the housing stock in our communities and commercial stock needs rebuilding. Nobody's coming. We have to do it. We have to rebuild it. And so that's one focus of ours. Another focus is small real estate developers. The SBA doesn't see them as small businesses, but they are. They need that business acumen. Who's going to take over these buildings and be the developers in our communities? It's going to be us. And so that's another one of our foci.
First step to wealth is ownership.
Yes. And then the third is arts and makers. Who brings the community back? Who preserves the culture? What's the one major coming out of college that has to be entrepreneurial? More entrepreneurs coming out of the arts programs than there are coming out of the business school. So arts and makers, we focus there with our partners.
I'm glad you said that, because most people that go to school that are artistic and creative miss the other side of the brain. They let them understand the business part so they can make money. Do you have a success story? You said 900 and how many?
940 graduates.
I have a couple of friends that you know of that graduated from Sunshine Enterprise. I didn't even know, and they spoke very highly of the program. One is in, I think his wife even went through the program, didn't? Yeah.
Yes.
So you have a success that we know of, like
Yeah,
your friends,
absolutely,
like that you could say, oh, this sweet treats thing came out of our that we know of.
And I just mentioned, I said I was going to have you guys, and they said, hey, we took that program. We actually did it, and it helped us.
Yes. Oh, we have so many success stories. It's a blessing.
What
So
about Javon?
We'll talk about Javon. So I actually took the program myself, and one of my classmates is Javon Nicholas. She has 3 businesses, egg rolls, etc. She has a shared kitchen, and she also has a meal prep. And so when she and her fiance first took the class, they had a whole different business idea in mind. But one of the things it helps you do is figure out how to hone in on that market. So they flipped to doing food-based businesses. And in 2019, she was the most successful pop-up at the Taste of Chicago.
Wow.
And when I went to support her with my family, not only was Javon and her husband there working the business, but 3 other Sunshine graduates, food businesses were there working and supporting her.
What a testimony.
It was amazing.
That's a testimony.
It was Exquisite Catering, Tiffany Williams, Mrs. G's Gluten Free, another one of our clients, Marsh. I can't think of who the third one was. And then not only that, one of the things Quandra mentioned is our Next Level Exchange program, where we pair our scaling businesses with mentors. So her mentor in the food industry, who has his own 2 companies, was also working her booth. And that's what we're talking about. It's the networking amongst the alumni. It's building that social capital, building that network. So now she's got her distribution, she's got her co-packer, she's doing it. And that's what our Sunshine alumni and students are capable of. They have the dream. They just need the relationships to be able to scale it.
So we're almost out of time, but you said a cohort starts in September. But
Yes.
tell them how to get in touch with you. And they don't have to wait until September to get in touch with you, right?
No, absolutely. We have info sessions this Tuesday in English and Spanish, because we've opened up our classes to Spanish language learners too. So you can go to our website, sunshineenterprises.com/info sessions. We have one tomorrow, we have one Wednesday, and the Spanish one is on Friday. And then you can also give us a call, 312-868-0040, extension 203 for English and 223 for Spanish, 312-868-0040, sunshineenterprises.com.
Amen. Thank you, Quandra and Laura and our other guests today. This was a very, very good. I might have to kidnap Tamera and Marcel and tell them I'm gonna take over this seat for. I don't know.
Tamera, if you're listening, Charles say he like your seat. Tamera would say no. Well, you know what? It has been great sitting in for them. This show was on fire. As I said at the top of the hour, we always are sending you back better than when you came. And as always, believers, lead with love and you will land on love. And guess what? Stay optimistic, because whatever life gives you, God has something greater.